primary things that someone moving into, whether it be assisted living or a nursing home or even just an independent senior community, would want to consider is having powers of attorney, like I said, for finances and for healthcare, and a healthcare directive. That's a living will or advance directive, all the same thing. Having a will is also important, but we actually feel like a will is less important than a power of attorney. A power of attorney really helps you while you're alive. When you're alive, the powers of attorney really make a difference in helping someone else help you. At its most basic level, a power of attorney gives somebody else the power, the authority to act on your behalf. You're giving someone a lot of authority when you give them power of attorney. And so the documents have become so long that we've split them into two. So you've got a power of attorney for finances, which is often called a general durable power of attorney. The word durable, you'll see that a lot. What it means is that it extends beyond your incapacities. The power of attorney for finances gives somebody the ability to sign checks and to enter into contracts. It's a very powerful document. And so it is something not to be given lightly. It should be given to someone that you implicitly trust. You should always try and name at least two people, one person to act first, and then if they can't act, one person to act second. The more the merrier, really. Third and fourth is great too. In a healthcare power of attorney, doctors are always going to look to the patient first. If you can communicate with the doctor in any way at all, blinking, thumbs up, nodding of the head, they're going to look to you for the decisions. In a power of attorney for finances, there is an important choice to be made about whether it's going to be effective immediately or whether it's only going to be effective when this person becomes disabled and is unable to act for themselves. The power of attorney does not give someone the authority to relocate somebody, and as long as the person who gave the power of attorney is competent, they are always able to revoke that power of attorney. If you're trying to tell your mom that she needs to move and she doesn't want to move, and she can just say, okay, you're no longer my power of attorney. It doesn't give you the authority to fully control a person's life. If you feel that someone you love is making decisions that are truly endangering them, even if they have a power of attorney, that might necessitate a guardianship. If they're unwilling to give that up when they really need to for their own well-being, a guardianship can be something that is required. When someone doesn't have a power of attorney and they have assets that are in their name that no one else can deal with, or healthcare decisions that no one else can make, you have to go to court and establish a guardian, what's called a guardianship. And it's a time-consuming and expensive process, and then the court's all up in your business, and no one really likes that. Just because you have dementia does not mean that you do not have the capacity to do the documents. A lot of people we talk with, they come in when they get that initial diagnosis of dementia. They've got the first signs, a little memory loss, a little confusion. That does not mean you're incapacitated. It just means you have the first stages of dementia. It's a really good time to come in and talk about not just power of attorney, but what the entirety of your future plans. If we have questions about a person's capacity, we really like to get a medical professional's opinion about where they're at with their dementia or something that's affecting their cognitive abilities. So if the person is not able to enter into powers of attorney, you can face kind of a conundrum. It's really a case where an ounce of prevention is a pound of cure. Most attorneys are capable of drafting a basic will and maybe a basic power of attorney, but there's specific issues for elders that someone who focuses on elder law can really help with. Ask about what kind of experience the attorney has. And most attorneys now, if you have access to the internet, they'll have a website so you can read about the kind of experience, what areas of law they specialize in, and get a feel for who you're comfortable with. It's really important that you are comfortable with who's assisting you, and you're going to be sharing some pretty private information with them so that you are comfortable and trust them. You know, they are the hardest issues to face. And I tell people when we're doing documents for them, those are the most difficult choices you're going to have to make. How do you want to be treated at the end of life? And that's really when a living will or an advance directive becomes important, is when you've got some sort of terminal illness. That's when it's really, but just having an open and honest conversation with the parent, and that's the most as a child or a sibling or a spouse that you can do. The decisions are the individuals, and if they don't want to make them, that is just as much their right as it is to make them. Making some of these decisions ahead of time, the elders having a power of attorney or having a living will, those are really important documents to relieve a burden on a child also. In a living will, for instance, if a child has to make a decision about what sort of health care a parent would want, that's really hard. Even in the best of circumstances, even when you know what they want, if you're having to make a decision about, okay, am I going to keep them on a ventilator, or am I going to, should I authorize CPR? Those are really, really difficult decisions, and it eases that burden a little bit if the parent is able to say on paper, hey, this is what I want, and that's how I want to be treated. There's certain things we think everybody should take care of regardless of their age. Having planning done with a will and a healthcare power of attorney and a power of attorney for finances. Those are things you're never too young to do. Don't wait until it's a crisis. Talk to your family, talk to an attorney while you're healthy and you're still living at home. Talk to them ahead of time so you know, okay, if something happens, I'm prepared, or this is what my options are. Understanding your options is, that's the key probably to achieving the best outcome, the best life quality you can have.